is a daily necessity for daily triumph. Let the kubarahada, hey, ikadaboshadahados, ledula kawalahasi, imanda kalawahasi, hey, kadalabrondo fire. Queen Victoria of Scotland in the 18th century made a passionate statement, and she said, I am not afraid of all the armies of Europe put together, but I fear the prayers of John Knox. John Knox was a simple man. Grew up in Scotland, and he was he that prayed and said, give me Scotland or I die. Oh God, that man will rise up, who will cry out and say, give me Ghana or I die. I pray today that the mantle of the John Knoxes will come upon somebody. That the John Knoxes will rise up from among us, praying without any agenda, praying for the love of country, praying that the will of God may be done, that the counsel of God will come. In the Second World War, 1947-48 thereabout, there was a man. He wasn't an elder, he wasn't a deacon, he wasn't a pastor, he wasn't a prophet, he wasn't an apostle, he wasn't a teacher or an evangelist. He was an intercessor by the name of Rich Howell. They called him the great intercessor, Rich Howells. And the guy was a strong intercessor. And one day he prayed and predicted, when Europe was being invaded, that Britain shall not be invaded. When the invasion of Britain began, he had already predicted that Britain will not be invaded, and it was on the front pages of all the newspapers in those days. When the invasion of Britain began, he went to God and said, I have told the Prime Minister and predicted that Britain will not be invaded. And now the invasion of Britain has begun. And the Lord said, Rhys Howells, what do you want? Lord have mercy. I'm still waiting for the day that the Lord will open his mouth and ask me, what do you want? I will say some things. And he said, I want the invasion of Britain to be terminated. And I want the soldiers of Hitler to attack Moscow. Check history, you see it. I want them to attack Russia, the East. And the word of the Lord came and said, the East will they go. Within 24 hours, they called off the invasion of Britain and gave them a new assignment to attack Russia. Check history, you see it. It was done by not some great man of God, not a bishop nor an archbishop. It was a simple man by the name of Rhys Howells. Then he was there after the invasion of Britain was aborted. He was there one time and he kept saying, I'm feeling this uneasiness. There is an uneasiness in my heart, an uneasiness. And they said, what do you think it's about? And he said, it's about our soldiers. Something is wrong with the troops, with our troops. And if you study history, you will see this called, you can Google it, the Battle of Dunkirk. the Battle of Duncan. You can Google it. And apparently over 300,000 of the British soldiers had been surrounded by Hitler's army to annihilate them. And he kept saying something is wrong with our soldiers. And the media and everybody say it's not true, everything is okay. Suddenly, it was revealed that over 300,000 of the British soldiers were surrounded by Hitler's soldiers to be eliminated at the Battle of Dunkirk by some divine intervention which they cannot explain. And Sir Winston Churchill calls it some divine providence. He called it divine providence. Can't explain it. 300,000 of all the British soldiers were evacuated and they escaped by the prayers of an ordinary intercessor by the name of Rhys Howells. Your prayers today will determine the deliverance of your nation. Your prayers today will deliver a community. Your prayers today will deliver even generations yet unborn. Somebody say, I hear you.